The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views or ideas of the staff or management of KWSH or the 110 Broadcast Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Seminole Nation radio program. I'm your host, Edwin Marshall. Ominogida hayu yalagat no mare, Seminole with no mare. Nagi okilkizida, Nagi onakahuzagat no mare. Yaish hais kid in the boat did Zimokilkizid and go madline on those moment. Yaish hais kid no mad. KWSH 1260 AM and 97.7 FM. Mad mahungat karundo irundos. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm your host, Edwin Marshall, with the Seminole Nation radio program. I'll tell you what, it's beautiful outside, and we're going to have a great day here on the radio. I've got a guest with me, Miss Nan Micco. I guess everybody in the tribe knows her. She's our resident diabetes nurse at the diabetes clinic. Good morning, Nan.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
We had scheduled to have her mother with us this morning, but she got a little under the weather, and she'll join us at another time, former second chief, and so we will bring her on another show, but I'm glad you could make it, Nan. Mm-hmm. We're going to get started here with our usual church announcements, church meeting announcements for this week, and so we're going to start off here. It says Arbica. Arbica Baptist Church is over between Wallika and Henrietta. Nan, that pastor is Marvin Lowe, I believe.
Yes.
And then Big Arbor is over by Eufaula, and I don't know the pastor of that one.
No, I don't know either.
Yeah, I know. You know, we used to go there a long time ago when I was a kid, but I probably wouldn't know anybody at that church anymore. Mm-hmm. Hickory Ground number 1 over near Henrietta, and that pastor is
Mitchell Taylor.
Mitchell Taylor, yeah, Reverend Mitchell Taylor. High Springs, Okema, of course, is Jesse Wynn. And High Spring, Conawa, Nan, you'll have to help me with that.
I believe that is Skip Foster is the one who is chairing
Oh,
for
okay.
now.
All right. And Hilltop Presbyterian Church over near Wewoka. Next, Little Casita Baptist Church. And Middle Creek number 1. That's one over there between Lamar and Dustin. I think it's Mark Smith. And then New Arbor. It's another one of those churches over near Eufaula. Rock Spring, Anadarko. And you might wonder why do we announce Rock Spring, Anadarko? They're one of the Muscogee Seminole Wichita Association churches, and they're included on this list. Also, Ryle Community Church. Nan, who's pastoring that now?
I believe that's John Wayne Tulsa.
Yeah, that's right, John Wayne Tulsa. And then Seminole Baptist. Who's chair? Do you know?
It used to be they known him as Bones Burgess. I don't know if that's him.
Yeah,
that's doing that for now. I don't know.
Oh, okay. And then Salt Creek Baptist over near Wetumpka. They usually have an interim pastor. Snake Creek number 1 over here north of Seminole, of course, is Bill Hoby. And Snake Creek number 2 up near Bixby. I haven't been to that church in a long time. Do you know who the pastor might be there?
It still might be Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson? Okay. And then Trenton Baptist Church over near Hannah. It's Johnny Hicks, Reverend Johnny Hicks. And then after that, Vian Creek, way down in Vian, down in Cherokee country. It's one of those, I guess, somewhat of a Muscogee church. It used to be. Have you been there in a while?
Oh, it's been years since I've last been there.
I know, yeah.
Yes.
And then Wegawa Baptist Church up there near Sand Springs, Oklahoma. I'll tell you what, there's any direction you want to go, and as far as you want to go, whether that's to Anadarko or Cherokee Country or Sand Springs, Oklahoma, There's church meetings everywhere this weekend, so it's going to be beautiful. So you might as well get out and attend the church of your choice. Rolly McIntosh, that's right, at Big Arbor. All right, that's good. Hey, we got listeners out there helping us out. Hey, by the way, I understand our listenership is really growing. We're really glad to have everybody here with us today, and we hope that you stick with us. We got a lot of news and announcements, and as I mentioned, we'll have Nan on here in just a few minutes. First of all, it's spring break this week. A lot of activities going on, and the WIOA program with the Seminole Nation has some activities. As a matter of fact, March 19th, starting at 1 o'clock today, there's going to be a interviewing skills, informative ways for job searches, and things like that, class in that. And that's going to be from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And also, if you get the job, will you be able to budget your bills around your paycheck? And they'll be discussing some of those kinds of things having to do with getting and finding and keeping a job. It's going to be at the Mission Grounds from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Refreshments will be served. Also, Thursday, March the 21st, a Seminole Traditions cultural event. There's going to be a class on Come Learn While We Dance and why it's important to carry on the tradition. If you ever wonder where stomp dancing originated and the meaning behind the songs and turtle shells, this is an event for you. We're going to have also some demonstrations. That's going to be at 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, but that morning they'll have at 9 o'clock, they'll have fry bread, grape dumpling demonstration, also have softy and fixings for Indian tacos, which will begin at noon. So come on out that morning and learn about all these traditional foods. And then at noon there'll be Indian tacos, and then at 1 o'clock, as I said, there'll be a class on traditions and cultural traditions. And so that's going to be all day Thursday. Bring the kids. So this is kind of geared toward the school kids, but anybody's invited. Nan, maybe you guys can come out and set up a table or booth that day. You're right there close to it, so a lot of I was fixing to say a while ago, Nan is with the diabetes program. She's our diabetes nurse out there, and that's one of the good things about everybody getting involved with ceremonial dancing is the physical activity that's included with it, and any exercise is good for you. So I know that in one of the other tribes, I think it's Creek Nation, they even have a thing called Step to Stomp or something like that, and where they figure out how many calories you burn just stomp dancing, and that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to do that, like in the fall, had that event where we would set a goal of having try to reach 1 million steps during the event, and we would sometimes get there. We did at one time got there. We made everybody that came were pedometers, and we counted the steps throughout the evening.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. All right. The Seminole Nation BCR Commission is pleased to announce they'll be open the last Saturday of each month through June. It's a 6-month trial. The next date is going to be March the 30th, 2019. So if you have a hard time taking time out to go get your tag or whatever, they'll be open on Saturday morning from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock. They're doing that to try to better serve tribal members' needs. So if you need to update your car tag or if you need a new car tag, come on out this Saturday at the BCR. They'll be open from 9 to 1. Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs will be on site at the Seminole Nation Veterans Office Fridays from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock to help you, assist you with all your veteran benefit applications and things like that, or any other need that you might have that they may be able to help you with. They're here to help all veterans. So if you want more information on that, you can call Kay Galen Greenwalt. He's the director, and the number is 405-234-5242. That's 405-234-5242. All right, this coming Friday, there's a group that has been formed in Dallas. It's called the Dallas Muscogee Coalition, and all of the members down in Dallas, whether the Creeks and Seminoles, and I understand there's even been Choctaws and Comanches that have been coming to these meetings, but this group has formed, and they've been asking for participation by our tribes. So this Friday, our language department is going to be there, and me specifically, actually, going to do a presentation on the beautiful Muscogee language. That's going to be at the Intertribal Center of Texas. That's at 1261 Record Crossing Road in Dallas, Texas. I believe the time is 7 o'clock, but there's going to be a potluck dinner, and I've arranged to have some wild onions transported all the way to Dallas, Texas, so that's going to be a part of the potluck. But all the members down there have been real good about coming together with potluck and food, and so we'll see what we can all get together. But I understand there may be a couple more presenters, but the primary presentation is going to be the language presentation. But I get word that from Sherry Gouge with the Dallas Coalition, they're excited to announce they'll have a representative from Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, Miss Sharon Burgess, research specialist from the Tribal Enrollment Office, will be there to present information regarding enrollment. She'll have the following forms available: enrollment, update, and CDIB. So that'll be at 7 o'clock at the Dallas Intertribal Center. That comes from Mario and Sherry Gouge, who's heading up that organization. Started actually by Mr. David Frank, good friend of ours, and David had to move back into Florida, so Mario and Sherry Gouge have picked that up. All right, here's the biggie. On March the 30th, tribal potluck dinner, lunch with the chief. Everyone is welcome to this event. You can bring your special covered dish and break bread with the chief. That'll be at the Seminole, Oklahoma Best Western Trojans Conference Room. It'll start at 1 o'clock and last until 4. So bring your best dish out, and whether it's food or dessert or whatever it is. Also, Strother JOM Parent Committee is having a bingo fundraiser, grocery bingo fundraiser on April 6th at Strother Public School Cafeteria. That's at the Strother School in Seminole. Food sales starts at 12, and the bingo starts at 1 o'clock. So at 12 noon and 1 o'clock. So that's April the 6th. I assume that's a Saturday. All right. They want to announce American Indian, Alaska Native Student Travel Scholarships for 2019. That's the National Institute of Justice. To enhance diversity in the field of criminal justice, NIJ will support up to 15 American Indian, Alaska Native undergraduate or graduate full-time students to attend a criminal justice-related conference. And there are several conferences that are listed there. One coming up in September in Las Vegas, one coming up in October in Chicago, Illinois, another coming up in November in San Francisco, and American Academy of Forensic Sciences, February 17th of next year in Anaheim, California. So look on the website for National Institute of Justice for that information. All right, coming up April 1st and 2nd, Oklahoma Native American Youth Language Fair at the Sam Noble Museum. This copy I have is a little blurry, but that's going to be April the 1st and 2nd, 17th Annual Oklahoma Native American Youth Language Fair. I know that our program is involved in that a little bit, so you want to be sure and get out to that. Seminole Nation Museum is pleased to announce it'll be hosting a second round of Seminole history and culture classes, which actually started last Saturday. The classes are free and open to the public, and from 1 to 2 o'clock on Saturdays and run through April the 20th. It'll present Genesis of the Seminole people and their origins of Muscogee mound builders, examine the evolution of one of the 5 tribes to a modern federally recognized native government. This story is any individuals who are interested are invited to attend. It's free and open to the public, and there's a limit of 20, so registration is required. You can call them at 405-257-5580. Seminole history classes. Never get enough of that. Tribal Child Support Services. Attention members of Seminole Nation, parents or guardians of tribal children through Seminole Nation. If you have any questions regarding child support and you need answers, or if you feel like you should be receiving child support but you're not, and even if you want to start a child support case but you don't know where to begin, you can call them at 1-888-540-1501. That's the Tribal Child Support Services. And then we have, finally, Agazumga Baptist Church right there in Wewoka, 400 South Wewoka Avenue, is having a revival April 24th through 27th. I believe these are lay minister revival, and every night's going to be a different speaker. First night, senior adult night, the speaker will be Dennis Fish. That's April the 24th. Then the next night on April 25th, the older youth night, speaker will be Jeff Harjo. Then on the third night, April the 26th, that'll be youth night, and that's John Factor. Excuse me. And then finally on April the 27th, adult night will be Russell Daniels. This year's revival joins with the Baptist General Convention of Oklahoma Native American simultaneous revivals. It'll conclude Sunday morning with 11 o'clock service with the pastor speaking. So that's coming up in April. Those are announcements for this week. And listen, we're going to take a little break here with a little information from the nation with Jeremy Fultz. We'll be right back.
This is Jeremy Fultz with highlights from the nation. On Monday, WIOA held a presentation about substance abuse in your brain. Amber Komachit, director of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Alcohol Substance Abuse Program, was the guest speaker.
In the presentation we did today, I think that we try to look at how it affects the youth's brain and the time span that, our brains are still growing and maturing, and a lot of people didn't realize that. And so that was some of the information that we shared today with the individuals that were here.
And look forward for more presentations this week, as WIOA will be hosting Interviewing Skills with Gina and a cultural presentation by Edwin Marshall. For more information, call Emma Wesley Harjo at 405-234-5252. And the nation wants you to save the date, March 30th, 1 to 4 p.m. for a tribal potluck and to break bread with the chief. Mikon Daklegi Idigabejagits. Then the Seminole Chamber of Commerce is having its 11th annual Made in Oklahoma Festival, Saturday, April 6th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Visit SeminoleOKChamber.org for more information. And that is your highlights from the nation. Mado Jiga Jiga Shjay.
Mado Jeremy Fultz for that little bit of information. I'm kind of liking those commercials that we've been making. Jeremy's doing a good job. Oh, by the way, Jeremy is in the studio with us. He always films this for later broadcast of the radio show, joined by Delaney Pinnock and one of our language teachers. And Joe Kuhn usually with us, but he's not with us this week. He had a little activity going on today with his grandkids. But you have a good time out there, Joe. Nan, as I mentioned a while ago, Nan Micco's in the studio with us. She just reminded me that Spring Church has a revival this week. Nan, once again, tell me who the minister is.
Our evangelist is Steve Campbell, and he's from around the Salisaw Way.
Okay.
So he travels like 3 hours to be with us each night.
Y'all supposed to put him up in a motel.
I think he wanted to go home nightly.
Yeah. All right, well, that's good. So if you'd like someplace to go any night this week, going out to Spring Church. As I mentioned a while ago, we're joined today by Nan Micco. Nan is the daughter, actually, you got. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention. She's the daughter of former Second Chief Marianne Marthley, and as I mentioned, Marianne was supposed to be in the studio with us today, but she'll join us at another time. And it's good to have you here, Nan.
Go ahead.
Oh, by the way, I want to mention that Nan is one of our diabetes nurses out here. Look what I'm drinking here. Low sugar Gatorade.
Low sugar. Yeah. And actually, water is good too.
Yeah. But anyway, it's good to have you out here. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
As of now, we're just it's kind of quiet right now, but we're, starting to get busy with summer coming up with our activities that'll be happening during the summer. But as of now, we've got some activities that are on hold. For instance, water aerobics is on hold, and it's because of spring break this week. So this week, there's no classes.
How's the participation been with that water aerobics?
He's been getting like maybe up to 10.
Oh, that's
it varies.
great. That's
yeah,
great.
That is a good number for him to have, and people have been coming in.
It's a good excuse to go swimming, huh?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and actually the pool is heated, so yeah,
that's
so
good.
That makes it nice. So yeah, this week classes are not going on. That'll be March 18th through the 31st, and then the first week of April. That's when he'll be picking up again.
Okay.
Yeah. And April 4th, which falls on a Thursday, there'll be a cooking demo at our wellness center, the Chafikni Wellness Center, which is located out of the Muscogee Mission, and that'll be like from 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock a.m. And he does whip up some good stuff. He teaches you how to prepare meals, in a healthy way.
Is this, who's the nutritionist?
That is Ron McIntosh from the Wewoka Indian Health Center. He's their the public health nutritionist, and he's the one that comes out and does our cooking demonstrations. Yeah.
That's great.
And also, I know since that we're in March, in June there will be a couple of camps coming up in June. Up at Wagner is the NYPD, the Native Youth Preventing Diabetes Camp.
Right.
We do send 5 kids up there, so we'll be looking for kids, to be coming out.
Is this the same camp that the Creek Nation sends their kids to?
Yes, them and other tribes across the state.
Yeah.
They do send so many amount of kids for a week long. It's an overnight camp.
I went and made a presentation one time to them, and I'll tell you what, that's a great deal for them.
Yeah, they do. They have education sessions, teaching them how to prevent diabetes, like through physical activity and healthy ways to prepare, snacks. So kids do learn, they do learn while they're there, and, they go home and probably, share with their families what they learn.
That's great.
Yeah. So we do have health professionals that do
Well,
help.
I'll tell you what, even though you say things are kind of at a slowdown, diabetes goes on.
Yes, it
And
does.
you guys keep doing a lot of good stuff, and so I know that the tribe has put a focus on diabetes education and diabetes treatment, and with that big nice office you got out there with the workout center and all that, that's a good deal. If you'd like to know more about Nan's program and maybe how to participate in the activities, what's a good way to contact you?
They can contact me. My number is 405-234-5276, and I'd be happy to, share any information that, what we do, what services we provide. And plus, our best practice is prevention. But we do, help out with people that are already diagnosed, and we do, share with them education to better manage their diabetes.
Do y'all provide any kind of resources as far as like diabetes care, or do y'all leave that to the clinics?
We do things like offer blood pressure monitors and meters where they can check their blood sugars and their blood pressure. So we do help them with that.
I noticed that now they're starting to come up with these monitors where it doesn't stick you. It's like a little patch on your back or something like that, and you take your cell phone and you just run it over that patch. Are we to that point with yet?
I think they have been. They did start that over at the clinic.
Yeah.
A few of their patients have been, but it's still kind of like they still have to like implant it in there where they're able to read the blood sugar. So I guess it's it's going all right.
Shoot, man, we'd like that. Don't ever have to take no bath. And hey, no, I'm just teasing. I'm sure they've got that figured out too as well. I'll tell you what. Let me switch the subject here a little bit. One of the people that I admire the most in the Seminole Nation are our elders, and I know that we've got a lot of emphasis on the elders and keeping them healthy. And one of the emphasis of our program and the language program is to bring them together quarterly to have a forum with the elders and let them speak and let people listen, because that's always been one of the things that's close to my heart is our tribal elders, because this generation of tribal elders is probably the last of that is speaking fluently and speak to one another. But even at that, even the elders now, they're getting to where they kind of talk English to each other, but they do know the language and they preserve it. Your mother is an excellent example of somebody I think represents that. Every time, I just love to talk to her.
Yeah.
Every time I see her, I always make it a point to go and talk to her a little bit. And, she told me a story one time, and I'm not going to give it all away, but she told me a little story that she had been told when she was a little girl that if you don't keep your language, you may lose your identity as a Native American. But there's no doubt if you don't have a language, you're not going to have an identity as a Native American in the future. So we've got to do more, or we try to do as much as we can to preserve the language and keep it going. And I just really appreciate your mom for that. She's going to join us on another show. Like I said, she was supposed to be here, but she was the former assistant chief of the Seminole Nation, and a very gracious woman, and you should be very proud, and I know you are, of your mom, and of course your dad, and dad was a good guy. But I just wanted to mention Marianne. So you also told me a while ago that with the departure of Dwayne Tiger, the diabetes program had an opening there, and you guys have selected a new director?
Yes, we did. Yeah, and it's our former exercise specialist, James Five. He is now the program director.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, James was around it long enough. He should know all the ins and outs, and I'm sure
Yeah.
Dwayne trained him well.
Yes. Oh,
so now you guys are going to be looking for an exercise specialist?
Yes. Yeah, and so that's why, we're kind of holding off on some of our activities because, we do have a little shortage of staff, for the moment. Yeah.
Well, I understand. I've been out to your facility, and I'm real impressed with all of it. And if you haven't been out there, Nan will be glad to show you around. Just call her up and tell her I'd like to come out and look around the facility a little bit. And it kind of inspires you to, if you're a diabetic, to kind of do something about your diabetes and keep yourself healthy. And, there's a lot of other things that you do along with that is make sure you keep your appointments at the clinic and so forth. And see your doctor regularly, take your medicines when you're supposed to. I'm bad about that. I don't have a problem taking my meds in the morning, but I don't know where I'm going to be at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening from day to day. So sometimes I overlook that. I try to. It's only a couple of pills, but sometimes I forget those things. Hey, it was great having you here this morning, Nan. What you have anything else you wanted to add before we get off the air here?
We'll just put out later on when these camps will be coming up. We will, put out information as to when you can come in and fill out paperwork and, tell you when the deadlines are for NYPD and our summer camp too.
And by the way, since Nan's here, I'll remind you that, we love wild onions, we love salt meat, we love chicken and dumplings, all that good stuff that goes with all these meals. But don't forget moderation, right?
That's right. That's the key.
Yeah, moderation. And all those grape dumplings and blackberry cobblers and stuff like that. It's okay if you take a few bites, but, take it easy.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Nan. Every week, Joe Kuhn joins us in here usually, and Joe always closes the show out with a Muscogee hymn, and he's good to do that. But Joe is on spring break with his grandkids today. I don't blame him. I hope he's up there looking at all the camels and the elephants at the zoo with him or whatever he's doing. But you have a good time out there, Joe. But in the meantime, Nan has agreed to close the show out for us with a Muscogee hymn that she's chosen, of her choice rather. And, Nan being a regular attendee at the Seminole churches and Creek churches is very versed in Muscogee hymns. And so at this time, I'm going to give her the rest of the time in this show to sing at her heart's content. And so, Nan, if you would, pick a song and close this show out for us, please.
Okay. Micco sapi full na Jesus lay kana pogibis Micco sapi full na Jesus lay peace, because upon beyond now, though they jaded upon ye peace it get not again for now Jesus like an apocalypse.